Hi, how are you? I don't know, have I done one this year?
No, not yet.
Oh, Happy New Year. How are you? We are going to do... Oh, Sarah,
What?
before you go, do you want to tell me about being on Adam's tonight?
I did last night, but yeah,
You
we can
did?
tell them again. Yeah. We are going to be on Adam Humphries' Facebook page. So you need to look up Adam Humphries TV is his his Facebook page, and we're going on at 8 o'clock tonight to talk about all things Gecko.
There you go, because I wouldn't have remembered any of that. So, except for Adam Humphries, I knew that we were going to speak to him, and I haven't spoken to him in years, so that would be lovely, or not properly. Right, today we are doing tribal applique. It's applique. There's nothing. I had a look at it. I googled it after we came up with the name. I googled it, and there's all sorts of things, different tribal thing that you can do, tribes of people and everything. But that wasn't what I was on about. So I am going to do this type of thing. Now, this is a gecko, right? And I've been looking at, I've had a tattoo. So when we, you look at tattoo pictures and everything, they come up with all of these tattoos, okay? And I've always really liked the tribal ones, ones that you can have done on your body with your different shapes and everything. And I think they're beautiful, but there wouldn't be enough colour in there for me. So I had a look at some of these and decided that I quite like that gecko. That's quite nice, isn't it? So I did him. Now, something that I forgot was that he would be reversed. So he's been put back together a little bit slapdashed because I had to remember how he went, transpired, and just turning it over wasn't enough. I had to put him up against a window. But I managed. I have a gecko and I quite like him. I love him. So I'm quite happy with that. We're not doing him today because there was lots of little pieces. I've done a lot of it in... I did a lot of it in blanket stitch around here, which is what you normally do. But these little pieces, I've done a very small straight stitch. And I used a green on the back. And somewhere along the line, my tension is not quite right. However, I quite liked the way that it did it. Was overhead is 5. I don't know whether you can see that. Can you see all the little dots? It's where it's pulled my back fabric, my back thread up, which is why you normally use the same colour bobbin as your front, because it can pull up. But I quite liked that there was an edge to it with the little dots. So I just left it. I could have unpicked and started again with a black bobbin, but I kept going with the green. So that was there. That was what I was doing. Right. Okay. So we're going to start from the beginning of doing this one. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to do the how to draw them out. Now again, this is backwards to the original because I'd drawn them out and didn't think about it. So if you want them to the image to be exactly the same way round as you are drawing it, then you need to you need to think about that and flip it. I mean, I just took these off Pinterest and went from there. Now here we're going to use Bondaweb, and you can see that you can see through it really easily. Now Bondaweb is a layer of glue, and when you get it, it's quite papery, but it's smooth on one side, which is your paper, and on the other side is bumpy, which is your glue. Okay, and so you're going to put it down so that you're drawing on this on the flat side, on the paper side. Okay, it doesn't matter what you're drawing it with, really, although a pencil would be rather nice. Can't find a pencil, so we will use a pen, as long as it's not as long as it's a permanent and not a iron offable, because once you iron it on, you're going to lose all your marks. The nice thing about doing a tribal one is they have gaps between, so you can just draw this out in one, which means that, you know, when you do normal applique, you're layering them over, so you need to make sure that you've got some underneath for you to layer over. And I quite liked this because you can draw it out in one, stick it to your fabric, and then just cut it out from there. So who's your friend? The gecko? Is that what you... So we're going to draw this out. I don't mind that it's backwards. Okay, so you're just going to bring it out. Okay, now remember, when you're this pen's not brill, when you're going to do it, you don't want too thin a line. You want it to be easy enough to be able to get your stitching round. Okay, so I'm just roughly drawing this out. So I'm going to go around all of them, and then we're going to... Oh, if somebody tattooed me with this slapdashness, I'd be very upset. But we're just going around all the edges, and because I haven't got to think about all the little pieces, you know, with the gecko, there was the little pieces of his eyes and all of that, which was quite an interesting sewing. So what else has been going on in our lives? We've got brilliant sunshine today. It's cold, very cold, but we've got brilliant sunshine. So tonight is going to be mega cold, I would say. So you wouldn't be wanting to go out and party in that and have a barbecue, I'm sure. So we're going to just finish this one here, like that. So we've been getting ready for Sunday. Sunday we have those scissors would be no good, would they? We've got our secret sewing on. No, it's not secret sewing. Our do you know, my brain, if I'm using my hands, my brain doesn't work. I'm sure I should have been, I have male tendencies. We've got our charity sewing on Sunday. So if you're in the area, you can pop in. We will have a few people here. Just going to take it a little bit closer round. So Sarah and I work out all our unfinished projects, you know, from projects that we've been doing like this, where I'm going to end up with quite a few different half-finished projects, and we see how many we can get finished during that 12 hours that we are live on Facebook. Yeah, you heard us right, 12 hours. We shall be 10 till 10. So you'll be able to pop in and pop out all the way through the day and listen to us warbling on with other people there. Sean will be there. I think Nikki's calling in. Anne will be there. I'm sure Linda will pop down and see us. So it should be a lovely day. A nice social day. That's what I like, a social day. So I have gone around the edges on that. And I'm going to take my black fabric and I'm going to put it on the back side. Okay, and I'm going to iron it on like that. Okay, so let's just iron that bit of the crease out. There. So pencils are on the windowsill. It's fine. I'm done now. Remember those games that you used to do way back in when computers first were around, and you used to do the you know, you had the little man on the bottom, you know, starships, and they were shooting. I could never do that. Too many things to think about at one go. Right, I've taken the back of my fabric, okay, and I'm going to iron this. So I have drawn on the paper side, and this bit here now is glue. If you see here, it's starting to come away. So that's your glue strip, okay? So you need to make sure that that is all down. You don't want the glue to be on the outside because you don't want to be sticking your iron to it. So you just need then to iron it down. Okay, now can you see where it's changed colour? So on this side is hot and it has ironed down the glue, it's melted the glue, and this bit here I haven't stuck, so it changes colour, gets like a waxy look to it. And we just iron it down and then you cut them out. And I chose a good pen. It hasn't disappeared completely. So just cutting this out here. And what you would do is you then cut all of these pieces out. So if we cut one of them out, this is why I've got one already. Ooh. So we just cut them all out individually, okay? Just had a horrible thing that I might not have done everything. So you're going to come round here and cut around all your your drawn lines, okay? So you're coming up here. Now, because this is quite abstract, if you cut it wrong, I wouldn't worry about it myself. However, you can always redraw it. Okay. Okay, so you end up with your piece. All right. Now, the easiest way to get this off is score it with a pin. And you can just go in and lift it off. So you go in and get underneath the paper. Now, because you've ironed the glue gets left behind. Okay. So you can then peel this off. And you can see there's the black of the fabric, and on the other side it's got that slight whitey grey sheen to it. Well, that's the glue. Okay, so we're going to put that to one side, and we are going to use this one, and we want to prep this piece of fabric that we're going to iron it onto. All right, so I have brought over some interfacing. Again, this is iron on interfacing, and it's iron on one side. So when you look at it, if you wiggle it in the light, you can see that it's shiny on one side and matte on the other. The shiny is the bit with the glue. All right, I'm using a batik, so I don't think there's really a forward and back, although it looks brighter on the other side. So we are going to put this on the not as bright. Okay, I could probably have done with a bigger piece. However, this is the piece that I cut. So we are going to do the same. Now, a lot of your Vaseline, your interfacing, on the edges, that it will be printed what it is, and it also says things like 8 seconds or 12 seconds, and that's how long they reckon you need to iron it to make the glue melt. I know Vaseline is 8 seconds for 250, so it just takes that long. So take your time, don't just do that and think that it's going to be stuck, because it's not. Okay, it's not. So you're just making sure that it's all stuck down, and this will give you a firmer piece to sew on. It gives you something for your needle to go through and the thread to catch on to. Quite often with if you were just using the single fabric, where the needle is going to go on the outside, it would just sink into it. Right, what we're going to do is I'm going to place that, because I want this to go in the other way, isn't it? I want that in there so that we know where we're going, and you're just going to iron that down. Okay, so that then is stuck on there like that, so you know that that's not going to move as you're sewing it. It's all stuck down. So in the thing of Miracle of TV is one I've done earlier. Now I actually drew this and I made them bigger, which is fine because this is abstract and it doesn't matter what shape they all ended up at. I just drew out one and then copied it. This one, as you can see, is slightly smaller because I went with the picture, the actual picture. I like them. They're very like Hawaiian, you know, like a Hawaiian thing. Hiya, Patsy. Space Invaders, that's the thing, Michelle. So because I tried to make these bigger, I thought I quite like this turtle. I could do this as a present for Sarah's mum. And I tried to make it bigger, and when it went together, it didn't quite come out looking like I wanted it to. I think maybe if I'd have moved this one so that it sat in there, so that they became more together, because I tried to draw all of these pieces bigger and it's just not worked. It really just has not worked. So I don't know whether I can pick these two, redraw and maybe make them go together. This is quite turtle-like. I think once I've outlined it, it would be turtle-like. So we'll have a look at that at a later date. Okay, right. So, over to the machine. We've left the white on the machine so that you can see what we're doing. Okay. Now, our suggestion is to try it out. If you're going to use your blanket stitch on the machine, put in and try it out. Now, as I've not blanket stitched on Sarah's machine before, she's put it all right for me, but I'm going to give it a go so that I can count the stitches and where they're going to go. All right, so there we go. Oh. There's no padding left on this seat. Okay, so remember, Sarah's doesn't need putting down, so we're going to go right. So it's just one stitch. With mine, I've got 2 stitches on the outside, so it's 1 stitch and 2 stitch in, stitch out, 1 stitch, stitch in, stitch out. Right, okay. So this is a lot quicker than mine. Mine, I have 3 stitches, goes on the outside. I'm sure there must be an easier one. So now we're just going to put this under. I want to stick, there it is. I was going to say, I want to put my needle down. I could use that, couldn't I? I want to put my needle down. I've got too many hands, or not enough hands. Right, so needle down, needle up, and pull the thread underneath. No, that's not going to work. What about if I do that? That'd be better, wouldn't it? On my machine, because I don't know this one, you put your needle down, needle up, and you're going to pull up the stitch, the thread behind, because you can deal with it better afterwards. However, this one will... Right, okay. I need to move that over a bit. Cut it off. Right. One of the things I didn't look at was where it was going to where the needle goes. Yeah, it's still over. Okay, so I need to put we'll get it right now in a minute. This is why you need to practice. So when you practice, don't just look at what the stitches do. Draw a line and see where it goes. We're going to run out of prongs in a minute. Right, so I think my edge needs to be slightly over. Let's try that. Oh, it's still over. Right. So you can see and the bobbin's going to run out. Brilliant. Yeah, it won't let me work. Okay, so I go work out how to do the bobbin now. Hang on. The bobbin. She was obviously halfway through doing the bobbin because the bobbin thingy was down. Now, isn't there a bobbin out thing? There you go. Okay, it's because the door was down, not because it was empty. Right, okay. So, how do I get that back in? door was open. There we go. Let's try that now. Right. Last prong. Okay. Oh. You gonna let me sew this time? Right. Okay. So don't go as fast as that. So slow it down on your machine if you need to, because I get a bit heavy footed, and take it slow like that, and you're just going to follow it around. Now small pieces can I sorted it. Okay. Small pieces you could do a straight stitch, or you could use a decorative stitch. There's no reason why you have to stick with this. All you want to do is sew this down so that it's not coming away from the fabric. I mean, you could so you know, that's all you need to do. Now when you come to a point, you can change your stitch so that it becomes tiny, and take it really slow and turn it like that, and hope that you've got it right. Oh, look at that. As you go round the corner, we're going to bring it back up. There we go. I think that was the right one. No. Does it come up to... Oh yeah, 2.3. What a strange number. Okay, so you're coming round and you just keep turning it round a curve, keeping an eye on how your where your stitch is going. It's better to stop it on the in bit before it does the single stitch around the edge. So in, out, in, out, stitch, in, out, stitch, in, out, stitch. I'm going to go 1. And if you use a colour the same as you're sewing on, people won't see your mistakes as much. That's probably a good tip as any. Right, we want to go like that. That's in, out, and then no, long way. Okay. So you would just keep going all the way around them. And then you leaves you with a front to put on a pouch. You know I like a project bag, so it would go on the front of a project bag. You could use it for cushions. It would be ideal if you do it in, depending on your colourways and everything, to do for boys, especially if they're of the tattooed persuasion. But if you were to draw out an extra pair, you would be able to practice on your extra rather than messing up your finished item. It was just something that I really like the look of, and I thought, well, I'll give that a go. But applique for pictures that you see in books or anything like that, I don't know whether you card make, but it's applique is just like decoupage. You're just layering it up for it to for you to make a picture. And I've seen some stunning things made from applique that I like the whole idea of it. That's it. Okay, so let's go over to here, to the 5. So you can see now that I've gone all the way round. It's successful for the most part. But if I'd have done that in black, you really wouldn't see where I've slightly gone off and everything like that. So some of the pictures that you see, what I like about it with things like this, you can see that it's a tiger, but none of it ever, you know, like meets up. I just love the idea of these blocky pictures. And there's a turtle that I should have done. Maybe that would be better as a blocky. I could do quite a few turtles on there. So yeah, so maybe heat up the piece you want to pick off. Oh, it might do, yes. Well done, Patsy. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. Yes, because it would be nice to just do a, I don't know, a pouch for her or journal cover. That's another thing that you can use these for, if they're small enough, is to use them on journal covers. I must have about 6 journals now that have got covers. They've got no writing in them. They're just just do the journal covers. So yeah, so it's just something to play with. You know, if you never know, you might come along and think, oh, I like that picture. What can I do with that? Oh yeah, Sarah Jane said. So anyway, right. Join us on Adam Humphries' Facebook page tonight. Tomorrow we'll be getting ready, I would imagine, starting to move all the furniture around and stuff, ready for Sunday. Please do join us for Sunday. There is a Just Giving page, which I'm sure Sian will redo between now and Sunday, and on Sunday, for you to give towards it's giving aid to women who I'm sure it's the period one. Sarah will tell you. There's a Just Giving page, and it's for women's aid, but it's a specific women's aid. So please do join us. I'm going to go and have some lunch now. I'm obviously feeling very fatigued, and I will see you next week. You're welcome, Catherine, no problem. Take care.